Hey guys, welcome to the first part of my house hunting series. Today is officially the first day that I am going to start house hunting for a resale flat. 2 years ago, me and my boyfriend actually started applying for sale of balance flats. If you guys don't know, sale of balance flats are basically leftover flats. They are flats that maybe people have BTO'd and they dropped out, or they may be flats that no one selected during the BTO process, if I'm not wrong. So these flats are actually very limited in supply and they are very high in demand because of the shorter waiting time for you to get a flat. After balloting for like 3 times, we have not been very lucky to get a good queue number for these flats, and we have decided to go for a resale flat. So I guess this house hunting series is mainly for people who are looking to go to the resale route, or if you're just curious to know how we decided on a house, you can follow us on this journey. So before this video started, me and my boyfriend have already visited 2 resale homes for house viewing on our own. We actually made an offer on one of these houses, but we kind of like lowballed the seller. Like we gave like $50,000 lower than their asking price. At that point, it was only the second unit that we viewed, and we were okay if we did not get it, but we did really like the unit. We just went ahead to offer. If let's say they accepted, it was fate. We were meant to buy it, but in the end, they did not accept it. They had a lot of other buyers that were interested as well, and those buyers actually offered at their asking price. So we actually kind of like let that go. I wanted to share what I've learned so far in this journey, and I have about 4 major tips for you guys looking to buy a home here in Singapore. So for the first tip is actually to decide whether you want to go to the BTO route, the sale of balance route, or the resale route. For our case, we went sale of balance, and then because we failed, now we're going to the resale route. The reason why we are not planning to get a BTO is mainly because of the waiting time. I am not young anymore. I am not looking to wait like 4-5 years before I can settle down. I don't want to wait too long before I start a family as well, and I do not want to start a family here in my parents' house. But of course, there are plenty of people who feel that they are perfectly fine staying with their parents first. If you are okay with that, then please go for the BTO route, because the resale houses now, the prices are insane. A part of me kind of feels like I'm falling behind my friends that have gotten a BTO because they are already probably about 200 to 300k richer. Well, I am not making that kind of money off of my flat. At this point in time, I've come to accept that. So that's the first thing you need to do. Decide which route that you want to go. Second point, I have learned something called the property triangle. So basically, you know, they have one of this for like work, social life, and sleep, and you can only choose 2. It's the same for property as well. It's just that you replace the 3 corners of the triangle with price, location, and size. So you can only choose one, and you have to learn to compromise. You're not going to be able to find a house that is cheap, large, and in a super good location. There's something that you will need to compromise on. For myself, I have decided to compromise on location. It's very painful to compromise on location, I know, but for my case wise, I do work from home, so I guess location is something that I am the most willing to compromise on compared to price and the size of my house. Besides these 3 main factors, I realized there are smaller factors that will affect your house buying making decision, whether it's located near a school that you like, or do you not like being located near a school because it's super noisy there. Is it in a corner unit? Is it near the lift? Some people prefer to get a corner unit. Where this unit is facing, do you want a view? Are you okay with not having a view? Or do you want a low floor unit, a high floor unit? Is this something that you can compromise on? Because getting a low floor unit is definitely cheaper. So these are some other smaller things that will come into play when you go unit viewing. You will realize there are things that you don't like and things that you like, things that you want to compromise on, and things that you just cannot. The third tip is for you to decide on whether you want to get a buyer agent or not. I did not want to get a buyer agent at first, because if you were to get a buyer agent to buy a resale HDB, you as a buyer will need to fork out 1%. For my case, it's 1% to pay to your buyer agent when you buy the flat. And if you buy like a 600k flat, that means you will need to pay this person $6,000, and that is a lot of money. That was something that I was not willing to compromise in at first, but after trying it out ourselves, we realized that maybe getting a buyer agent would be a good thing. This person can help you negotiate for a better price, and if this person can help you negotiate for a better price, more than what you're actually paying this agent for, it may be a good deal. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people out there that are buying it directly on their own right now, so that they don't have to pay this 1% to the buyer agent, which is a good thing as well. I feel that it's a give and take. If you are lucky enough to get a really good agent that can help you negotiate a really good deal, then I think paying this 6,000 would be worth it. But it will really depend on whether you feel that you need one or not, or you can negotiate on your own. The good thing about getting a buyer agent is that they will arrange all the viewings for you. So for today, I will be going for 4 viewings back to back. It's our first day with our buyer agent, which is why I'm making this vlog, and I call this like the official start of my house hunting series. The fourth thing that you guys need to do, which we did not know as well, is to get your HLE approved, which is your home loan evaluation. I think that's what it stands for. Just apply via the HDB website. I'll leave the link below for you guys to refer to easily. But basically, your HLE will just tell you how much loan you are eligible for. It'll give you a good idea of what kind of flats that you can afford. And this HLE is valid for 2 years, so it's really important to get it done before you start searching up for your house. Reason being is that nowadays, right, HDB resale market is moving super duper fast. So I heard from a friend that basically you can view a house on Friday, you make an offer on Saturday, and on Sunday the seller agrees to your asking price. The process is super fast, and if your HLE is not ready yet, there will be a delay in this process and you cannot put in an option to purchase the house to lock in your price. And if that happens, there can be someone that comes in along the way to actually offer a even better price to the seller, and there goes your house. So it's very important to get your HLE done. It usually takes about 2 weeks for them to process it. Just get ready your last 3 months payslip. I think you also need your CPF contribution history as well. Okay, so I have a 5th tip actually. When applying for a HDB flat, you may be eligible for some grants, so make sure you know what kind of grants you are eligible for. If you were to live near your parents within 4-kilometer radius, it would be $20,000 to $30,000. For my case wise, because we really want to get the proximity grant, we are trying to find a place that is 4 kilometers within either my house or my boyfriend's house. And I feel that because of this, right, it actually did help us to further narrow down into what kind of houses we are looking for. And one last thing that I just wanted to share with you guys is that I think my biggest regret so far in this house hunting journey was not applying for a BTO 2 to 3 years ago with my boyfriend. Instead, we went for the sale of balance route, and we failed sale of balance 3 times, and that took us about 1.5 years. So I realized if that from the start we went with the BTO route, right, by now I would probably only need to wait 2 to 3 years before my flat is ready. I really wasted 1.5 years trying to apply for an SBF. Right now, because it's sort of like 2 years later, I am 2 years older, and I am 100% not willing to wait another 5 years for my BTO if I were to apply now. So if any of you girls out there are maybe like 26, 27, I know it's painful to wait 4 to 5 years to get a BTO flat, but you have to know that you can only apply for either a SBF or a BTO flat at one point in time. So if you apply for SBF, there's a very low chance that you'll get a house. If you are lucky, then wow, okay, that is the best decision you ever made. But the thing is that it is really hard to get an SBF flat. You will need to get a really good number. Applying for a BTO increases your chances of getting a flat by a lot. So if you're someone that's okay to wait a little bit and you're only like 26 or 27 years old, which is not too old yet, you will be able to settle down by the time you're like 31. I would highly recommend to go to the BTO route, because what I am facing now is the crazy price surge of resale houses, and that is not something that I'm very happy with right now, but it's something that I have to deal with because of the choice that I made 2 to 3 years ago. Okay, so I think I rambled on long enough. I will be going to prepare to go out now, and I'll bring you guys along with me to our very first official house viewing with our buyer agent. Did you really go house hunting?
No.
Why not? No money.
I'm living in dining, so the dining will be like the cook outside the kitchen.
No, nothing at all. You stay there, see lah. You listen. We just built our first house. Technically, it's our third. Yeah.
First one with the agent.
The first one is our first house with an agent. It's on the 36th floor, and you can even see like the view of the sea, and then the other side is the mountain. So the main selling point is really the view lah, but it's very expensive. Okay, no, it's not something that I'll pay for because of the location, because technically what you're paying for is the view. So we are going to view like 3 more houses now. 7, 3. Oh, is this one?
For storage, and they intend to leave the racks behind.
Some of the kitchen is they got not enough table space. If you cook, space for your oven and your microwave, you're not facing directly to another room. For this one, because we mostly use this toilet, master room, overlay of the tiles, wall tiles, this vanity top, and even the full set of the shoulders you can change.
Oh, kitchen. Yes, must see kitchen. Kitchen got built-in.
Common room. So basically for this room here, right, there's no built.
Today we viewed a total of 6 houses. And somebody already wants to make an offer. He wants to make an offer. He super like the last unit we viewed. Got view, nicely renovated, super high floor, but a bit expensive. Actually, the price is...
It's not that bad.
It's not terrible lah. I mean, it's something that I think we can negotiate to be within, not us having to pay for any COV. But it's only our first day of viewing, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what we want. Like, we're very lost. Are you lost? He's lost. I mean, the last unit that we viewed is quite nice, but I think we're gonna see more units next week and maybe the next few weeks also before we decide. Then you also have this fear that the unit will be sold. But then we shouldn't rush to buy also. I also don't know. I don't know, don't listen to my advice. So I just got home from viewing 6 different units today, and I'm gonna give you guys like a rundown of what I've learned so far. Okay. First of all, the good thing about having an agent is they help you to coordinate all your viewings. He scheduled for us 6 viewings, all back to back, which is around the same estate area that we are actually interested in buying. When he scheduled the viewings, right, he made sure that we saw different units that are facing different views, as well as units that have different layouts. In general, there are 2 layouts for newer BTO estates, which is the longish kind as well as the squarish kind. Here are the floor plans, so just pause if you guys want to have a look. The good thing about this is that it really gives you a sense of like what kind of layout plus what kind of view that you want. For the estate that we were at, we realized there are 3 kinds of views that you can see, which is either get a unit that's facing the forest, a unit that's facing another unit, or a unit that is facing sort of like a city kind of landscape. So because of this, right, now we know what unit we want and in what particular block. Another thing is that you will notice that there is quite a big price difference between having a view and not having a view for your unit. Just for an example, we viewed a unit that's facing another block. It's pretty nearby, which means that when you open the window, you can see what other people are doing in their house. That was going for about 630k versus another unit on around the same floor, right, facing a forest view. That one, the sellers were asking for 700k. So there's a really huge price difference of 70k. But of course, there are other factors that come into play, such as like probably how nicely renovated your unit is. Just one more example, the very first house that we saw, right, it was in a different estate but nearby, and the view of this house was so gorgeous. Like when you look out of the window, it is really unblocked views. It's so high and you can actually see the sea from like a really far distance away, and at the other side of the house is mountains. So this house would really appeal to people who are maybe more towards the superstitious side, because the agent was telling us like how the feng shui is very good for this house because the front is the sea and the back is the mountains. That is another huge selling point of this house, and it was going for 750k, but also provided that it was on the 30th plus floor. The other 2 units that I gave you guys earlier were around the 10th to 15th floor. So the floor as well as the scenery that you are facing is going to play a really huge part in how much your flat is going to cost. But anyway, after viewing all these 6 units, we now have a really good idea of what block that we like, and we are going to view more units next week. So there's going to be 2 more, which is closer to my side, which is nearer to like sort of like the city center area, so the flats are definitely going to be even more expensive. I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully the second part of this series will be out by next week, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.